the last day of school of school year 2020-2021. And I'm driving to work. It's a bit of an overcast. Still peaceful morning. A lot of thoughts going through my head today. Usually going to work, my thoughts are pretty calm, peaceful, a lot of gratitude, just grateful. Grateful about everything, about waking up, about all the things that have taken place, that are going to take place, experiences, moments that I have had in my life. I'm thinking about those things on my way to work. I'm thinking about my children, thinking about, the things that could happen today, and just really welcoming in all positive vibes, making sure that my mind is stayed on all things good. But it has not always been this way. I am a veteran teacher, and so I know this is not the case for all the teachers or educators when they're on their way to work, right? I remember when I was a young teacher, new mom, new wife. I was dropping off kids to daycare, trying to get to work by a certain time, and I can't say that my thoughts were always positive or as calm and peaceful as it is now. So that does happen with time. But on today specifically, I am thinking about, today's the last day of school for 2020-2021. The last day of school as we come to the end, somewhat of the end of a pandemic, because I know for sure when we go back to school next year, it will probably go back to what we claim or deem as normal. That is alarming. It's actually heartbreaking. As I think about it, I've thought about it several times, because during the pandemic, as I always try to keep positive thoughts and say, okay, let's look at the glass being half full, but you also want to be a realist and be realistic and think about all the things that just took place. What happened, right? And so many children, so many students, all students, I'm just going to say a group, all students, every educator, teacher, staff, faculty, bus drivers, custodians, support teams, everyone was affected by the pandemic. But one thing in particular that I always think about is how we were not able to meet the needs of our students. Socially, emotionally, learning, academically. And although we tried and we used several different platforms, there was no blueprint, there was no guide, there was no expert. Educators became the expert. And so the beauty of this is our new school teachers, our new educators, whatever role that they played during the pandemic, they're the experts in this. They will be the ones that can share their story and help future educators. To new teachers that have gone through this pandemic, my heart grieved for them, as I've had several conversations with new teachers, some that just wanted to just give up, some that did give up in the sense of found out that this was not for them in this reality that we lived in during the pandemic. some that kept going, but just felt that they just were not good at what they were doing. I sat in a place of trying to figure out how do you support them. And there's so many PDs and all of these online resources and platforms. Great. Everybody did what they thought would help someone be better or encouraged or supported. And I'm sure it helped to a degree. But the true source in all of this was experience. And I often shared with veteran teachers and new teachers during the pandemic that I am so grateful, and I was so grateful that I had a strong foundation. Because it was not only new teachers that felt lost. It was veteran educators and veteran teachers that did not know what to do, and they tried to do things as normal, and you saw how lost they really were. And you still see it because people are still trying to figure it out. The pandemic didn't just have a toll on what we do in our role as educators, but also our mental health as as people. And how do we deal with the changes? And a lot of people, it's hard, But through all of this, the one thing that I shared to try to encourage new teachers in this journey was the experience that you're taking right now is going to set and create your foundation for years to come as an educator. You'll be able to use things that you learned or that you saw for years to come. It's going to make you better for it, right? You're going to learn what to do and what not to do. So as I drive up to the school this morning, it's graduation day. It's graduation day for my students that the last time I saw them was on May the 12th or May the 13th. I was on a Friday, and that's when we didn't have school anymore face to face until about a month ago. And I had a brand new group of boys. So today will be my first time seeing my boys in over a year and 3 months. And I'm telling them, congratulations. Welcome to high school. Congratulations. You graduated, or you're being promoted from middle school to high school. And I think about all the things that happen when students are in school, and for educators that understand those growths of development, whether socially, mentally, those level of maturities that happen just by being in the sense of community of school, the collaboration of other students. 7th grade, I teach 7th grade, and it's that year that so many people mature. Like at the first semester, but when they come back after Christmas break or the holiday break in January, you get a new group of students. And it happens, I'm sure, for a number of reasons. I haven't done any research to really find out why this happens, but it's just the things that take place as we grow through life, and teenagers growing up into young men, young women, so on and so forth. But as I drive up, I think, did my babies even have that opportunity to expand and mature? And I was sharing this last week with some other educators, and I said, our students are going to high school, and high school's teachers are going to have to deal with more issues. I want to say issues, or maybe we'll have to learn how to manage in areas that middle school teachers have been managing since probably forever. But they will be having to deal with these areas that they probably never had to deal with now because of the pandemic. And the kids didn't have the opportunity to grow in these spaces of school. Another area, as I pull up into the driveway in my parking space, at school, is how so many different areas of our curriculum and the things that we've been teaching our students and just content needs to just be dismantled. Reform needs to take place. And all of that was exposed during the pandemic. And how do we go back and act and treat things as normal? There's no way. There's no way. As an educator, we're held accountable, especially so many that have been made aware of it. What do you do with this awareness piece now? Change, the first step of change is being aware. Now it's time for some action. And what does that look like? And our new educators are going to play a huge role in this shift and this change that's about to take place. Experience is what's going to hold you and keep you steadfast in this journey as an educator.